Hi, Puppercini. Can you say hello? Hi, friends and family. My name is Zeke, and I get to live the best life because I get to hike, roam around, lay out in the desert all day long. Because, oh, are you letting Mom know you're up here? Give you guys a view of where we're at here. How about that? I'd say that's pretty nice. So fun to boulder up into all this stuff here. Technical stuff, and gotta watch out for pokey things that want to stick you. But there is our home. Looks like we have someone working outside today. How crazy is this? Just hike up here. We're staying right down there. We've been here for 2 nights now. I think we'll stay for a couple nights. We've been to this spot before. We just love it. I mean, there's just something about going to the middle of the desert, right off the interstate, and feeling like you're the only one out here. There's maybe 2 other people camping out here. Usually this place is a lot busier. It's crazy to just come up here and let the mind wander. Zeke and I bouldered up all this stuff here, and let's see how long it took. Well, I'm recording with my phone. I had a microphone, but I forgot it in the van, of course. That never fails. Always forget something. But yeah, this journey, it's incredible. I mean, to be able to spend all this time with him, Rachel and I, and focus on the things that are important to us in life, such as hiking, being outside, exploring nature, meeting new people. It's just the definition of happiness, you know? We're not overcomplicating the process, getting ourselves in a bunch of debt, you know, where it's like we have to work that much harder to try and chip away at the old ice block of debt. And some debt is good, you know. A house is an investment, you know, you'll have that money down the road. It's an asset. I get all of that stuff, but it also is a liability too. And in the sense of, you know, if you want to switch up your job or go, you know, out in nature and just have you time and think and maybe switch up your career and stuff, it makes things more difficult. And especially in the United States, you know, it's one of those things. By the age of 26, you know, for most people nowadays, it's even harder to buy a home. I bought my home when I was 23, I think, 24. And nowadays, it's like, good luck, man. Everything's tripled, 4 times the cost. But by the time you're 24, 25, you have student loan debt if your parents, you know, weren't able or didn't help you out with that. You have a mortgage, and let's say you don't like your career. Let's say, you know, you're miserable and you chose the wrong profession because when you were 16, 17 years old and you had to decide, you know, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? You didn't make the right choice. I mean, you grow in your 20s in your adult life. Then what? You know, you can't just leave. You can't say, hey, I'm going to go do a passion project, or I'm going to go have think time out in the desert and see, you know, what is appealing to me, what makes me happy, who makes me happy, who am I, because of all those financial constraints. And again, I'm not saying that my version of this is, you know, the right way or anything like that, but for us to come out here and dial everything back, we don't have a physical address out here to just spend money online shopping and get stuff Amazon Prime 2-day overnight delivery. So that cuts out the frivolous spending for the most part. We don't go out to eat. I mean, we're in the middle of the desert, so we cook from home. And really our biggest cost, other than, like, you know, the basics of insurance and toiletries and cell phone bill, internet, stuff like that, is diesel. I mean, we substitute diesel in place of our mortgage or rent, and we get to go wherever we want and stay wherever we want. I mean, it's free to stay here in Bolt. This is my backyard or our front yard for the last, or however long we deem fit. How crazy is that, you know? Legally. And just 3 days ago, you know, we were at this base of this mountain that we very much enjoy. Same thing, you know, we went and hiked up in the mountains there, and a couple days before that, it was a case of where we were by like a body, a reservoir of water, and met some other people doing van life, 2 different couples, and hung out and watched the sunset, watched the sunrise. And so again, I'm not trying to paint this picture that this is the only way, but most people think this isn't even an option or don't even know about it just because of the fact that they don't know anyone else doing it. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you know, you searched Nomad or van life or something like that to where you've seen the lifestyle, but 10 out of 10, we cannot recommend it enough. And at this point, it's just like, why isn't everyone doing this? Like, this is what we were designed as humans to do. Enjoy our time, have time to think, and be with people that we love and bring out the best of us. And that is one thing that we miss, you know, when we're on the road. We don't necessarily have the same core social structures and family units that we have back home. But with modern technology, we can video chat and catch up, and it's not the same, but you can't have it all. And this isn't a forever thing for us. We don't know what the next plan is, but this has completely transformed our lives into this more, hey, we do have the ability to call the shots. We do have the ability to, for 3 months out of the year, live for free other than diesel cost. If we wanted to, we could stay in a little pocket of the Southwest. And I think our fuel to get out here was right around $250. And we could spend, you know, 3 weeks or a month in one little designated area. I should make sure this is still recording. Spend 2-3 months in one designated area and go back to the Midwest to see family and friends and spend a total of $600 for 3 months. That's a life hack. And as we've said in other videos, that van for us has paid for itself. I mean, we're ahead at this point. And that's what a lot of people don't necessarily understand. And it's not my job to try and, you know, explain or convince people that what we're doing makes financial sense. But not having to spend all of our money on mortgage or a rent allows us to travel and spend time where we want to spend time. Do we want the desert? Do we want the ocean? Do we want the mountains? And that's the beauty of it. I mean, that's how we used to roll, or, you know, our ancestors. It's like they only had what they needed and could carry, and didn't have just this abundance of material things. So it's really, it's crazy. I'm sure it sounds like I'm drinking the punch, but take it from someone who, Rachel and I have now done this for 3 years. I mean, we have our skin in the game. This isn't just a fad. This isn't like a phase that's gonna, or has wore off and we're trying to force it because we have too much money wrapped up into this. So, you know, it's one of those things. And as you sit here and look at all the cars going back and forth on the desert, and they have no idea this is here. Some of them, I'd say 99% of them. And that's okay. Maybe they wouldn't even care. Maybe they don't like outdoor time. And I think that's a big part of it, is nowadays it's technology. And so many of us never have this time to go out in nature and get vitamin D and see rocks and trees and animals and stuff and just go, wow, you know, it's perfectly imperfect. It's okay. It's nature. That's what we need. That's the key medicine. Now, nowadays, you go in and you're like, hey, I'm depressed. And does your doctor actually walk you through, hey, what's your diet like? What's your physical activity? How much sunlight do you get? No, they just go, hey, we got an antidepressant. Hey, you're anxious? We have Xanax. And for some people, those are life-changing drugs. So I'm not sitting here saying that modern medicine is a fraud and this and that. But there's statistics that we're more unhappy than we've ever been as a nation. And it's attributed to smartphones. And anytime you know, something is unpleasant, what's the first thing that you do? You pick up a distraction. You turn on the TV, you turn on Netflix, you have your laptop, you have your phone, and you bounce back and forth from all three of them. And it's really sad because it's detrimental to the overall well-being of all of us as humankind. And, you know, 5 years from now, we're going to look back, and I mean, it's already happening. The writing is on the walls, where we're just going to be like, what happened? I mean, you know, they talk about it with drugs, you know, with the fentanyl crisis and stuff like that. No one talks about smartphones. You know, we're all guilty of it, but you go into these social settings where there's 3 people in a room and everyone's on their phone. No one's interacting, no one's sharing conversation, talking about, you know, what they enjoy, life stories, stuff like that. And then Rachel and I now, with this lifestyle, we meet these people that are like-minded, that are experiencing the same life that we're experiencing, and we walk away from it just going, wow, other people get it. Like, other people are experiencing this beauty of just this. I mean, here I am right now, just sitting here with my dog, looking at this $1 million view as far as I'm concerned. And I did this yesterday, and I'll do this tomorrow. And if we stay an additional day, I'll do it the other day. And the thing is, I don't look at it as, oh, you know, that was my happiness, now I'm not going to get it again. I know that there's more of these views on the horizon. From 3 years of doing this, it's just, it keeps happening. So it gives you hope, you know, when you have that lull or that downtime, it's like, it's okay. There's more to come. Go get outside, go take in a new view and go, wow, this is life. You know, last night I sat out and took some night photography pictures, and you look at the stars out here, and I've never seen them like they are out here in my entire life. 2 years ago we were out here. I came out at 2 o'clock in the morning to take some night photos with my S20, so just a phone. I have never seen the Milky Way like that with the naked eye and with a phone. Just a phone. It was the most unbelievable picture. And last night you could see the Milky Way, but not nearly like I saw it 2 years ago. And it's just crazy. You realize we're just this speck. We're just this little pin tack here on this big, big circle, you know, the world. And we get so bent out of shape and caught up about, you know, just the stupidest stuff. And I'm not saying some of us don't have real life problems. I have my days, don't get me wrong, it's not all happiness. I've taken a hiatus from, you know, the basics of the 9-to-5 role. I was doing cars for a while, did the burnt out customer service and sales role, and it just got so drained on that. Was in a decade relationship with, I'll say, the wrong person. How it ended, I mean, no person that you were supposed to be with would end a relationship like that, but that's okay. It transformed me into the person that I am now, and that was single-handedly the best thing that ever happened to me. And there's a Buddhist quote that says something along the lines of, sometimes your misfortunes turn out to be your greatest blessings. And if there's one piece of advice that I could give, you know, my younger self, it would be trust the process, trust the universe, you know, make sure to stay positive, focus on gratitude, and be active. You need to be active, because by being active and being outside, it has you focus, or at least in my experience, on what you're grateful for and the simple things of life, of just being alive, fresh air, breathing, seeing, sight, smell, hearing, all of that good stuff. But yeah, just trust the process, because, you know, if someone cheats on you, or you split up with someone you thought you were supposed to spend the rest of your life with, something greater is out there for you. As the saying goes, when one door closes, another door opens. And, you know, when Rachel and I started dating, I mean, I never thought I was ever going to sell my house. I had a nice little garage that I put a bunch of sweat equity into, and her and I started experiencing this form of life when we were just car camping and taking weekend trips in between work and our at-home lives. And we lived an hour and 40 minutes from one another. And we were in Moab, and I looked and I said, we have to do this for a chapter of our lives. Both of us said that. And here we are, 3 years later, living our best life. No one can take it away from us. No one can take these memories away. As long as we have these, you know, our brain, these memories will last us a lifetime. And to share it with him, you know, it's no surprise. Unfortunately, he's not going to be around forever. But how cool. We get to spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, other than the gym. And if we meet someone out for a drink or food when we're passing through their town, he's with us, right next to us, doing everything we do 98% of the time. So, very fortunate for those things, without a doubt. And I can just ramble about this, but I'm passionate about it because it changed my life. And as I've said before, if you're hesitant on this, figure out a way. Do it simple. Start with your car, download iOverlander, or do a campground. You don't have to do just free camping, but as far as financial outlook, you know, it's nicer to do free camping because you can do more of it. Nowadays camping's pretty expensive. So if you're getting rid of your house or rent and you go start paying $40 or $70 depending on where you're at per night to camp, and then you're stuck in a campground parked next to people like packed like sardines, I mean, that kind of takes the joy out of what we've experienced. But to each their own. Everyone's different. Maybe you like that. I understand the social part of it too. Rachel and I don't like being parked 6 feet next to people. Life's too short. Get out here and just, there's, from what I can see, one person that goes every day and dirt bikes all over out here. They're in a smaller Sprinter van. Us. And then husband and wife or boyfriend, girlfriend over here in a pickup truck in an Airstream. And that's it. I should make sure this is recording again, huh? Still recording. So yeah, pretty wild. It's amazing. Life is beautiful if you want it to be. If you want it to suck, if you want to mope around, watch Netflix and compare yourself to people on social media. I'm not saying I'm completely removed from social media. I've deleted the Facebook app. I've distanced myself more from Facebook. Instagram, I post pictures. I love pictures. I love documenting our travels. Friends and family, can keep ties on us or tabs and see places that we frequent. It's funny, we'll post a picture and someone will be like, that we've met on the road. Hey, check this spot out. Here's a recommendation in that local area. And it's awesome. So social media is cool as long as you don't get consumed by it. Don't sit and look at reels for 4 hours and then go to bed and go to a job you hate and wake up, rinse, repeat, and do that as a vicious cycle and wake up and realize 30 years of your life have passed you by. I can confidently say that when I get to the end, whether that's a week from now or hopefully 40, 50 years from now, I'm going to lay there and reflect on all these memories if I get that chance, if it's not just a peaceful or a split second, I pass away and go, I did it. And I've already had that conversation with Rachel. I've already said, I got pretty emotional one time when we were driving and I teared up a little bit as a grown adult, but they were good tears. And I said, I want you to know, if anything ever happens to me, you've gave me and we have gave each other, or our relationship has brought out a version of life for me that I never thought was possible. I've done something that is so meaningful to me, to my own personal outlook on what I think is important, that I could peacefully say, hey, I lived a good life. Old me, I had memories, don't get me wrong. I had a good upbringing, family, friends, all of that stuff. But for, a good part of my 20s, I was stagnant. I really didn't do much for joy. I'm from Wisconsin, so everyone around me drank. And there was a social dynamic that was fun doing that. But then there was the burnt out job that I hated, that I thought I was going to do the rest of my life. A relationship that, wasn't fulfilling towards the end, and infidelity issues and stuff like that. And so anyways, ramble. Get out there and just enjoy life. Life is way too short to just sit in, 4 walls and put yourself in all this debt, buying stuff you don't need to try and fill a void. One, to think it's going to bring you happiness. If you have to ask yourself if you need something, you don't need it. If you, that's in the sense of where if you want it, don't buy it. Again, pleasures in life. I'm not saying don't work hard and buy something that you want or whatever tickles your fancy if you're into photography or other things. But a lot of us, or a lot of people, just sit on their smartphone and buy trinkets and stuff. I was one of those people when I worked remotely, thinking that was going to bring me some immense joy. And it never did. I just spent my money that I was working for on stuff that didn't bring me joy. And so there's that, or there's keeping up with the Joneses. Don't compete with people that you don't care and don't care about you. That is the most just crazy concept. Spend money that you work hard and give your time for, your most valuable resource, to try and impress people that are, one, committed to misunderstanding you and probably don't really care about you. And you get something nicer than them and then they're jealous of you. So don't play stupid games, that's that. I'm gonna sit up here, decompress, not talk, just be alone in my thoughts for a little while with my dog, and then hike back down and finish up that video, do a workout, and go for a bike ride. And enjoy the finer things of life. Yeah, I'm definitely, as I said earlier, I'm on this role of just asking myself, what do I want to do? Do I want to go back to school? Do I want to, be freight delivery, drive truck? Do I want to go into the union? And I don't mind busting my butt. I love hard work. I really do. So there's that part of where, if I could switch into a role where I work 6 or 7 months out of the year, like 10, 12-hour days and get the winters off. I don't like winter back home in Wisconsin. If kids come into the picture, where do we want to plant roots? There's just so many questions, but what I do have is I have time, not an infinite amount of time, but I have time to be alone in my thoughts, to sit here on a rock and look out here and question what makes me happy, what is going to give me, financial gain in the sense of where it's going to allow me to build a life for Rachel and I and a family someday. So there's all those things, 100 questions. When you're, 32, you start to realize like, wow, time's slipping away. It's time to get busy, but at the same point, I'm in a rare category of where we don't have a lot of bills. I can try different things. I can also enjoy my life to where it's not just about the hustle bustle, about stacking all this money to hope that one day you'll be physically able to not only enjoy it and do it, but have your significant other. I mean, tragedies happen. So capitalize on today. Enjoy the present. I'll leave with that. If you have a comment about this video, a personal experience of your own, I would love to hear it. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. If there was something that you thought I was wrong on, hey, it's my personal ride and experience. It's not to say it's the right answer. I'd love to hear about it. I mean, you could say, no, you're wrong on this, and that's fine. There's a part of, we all learn something if we're able to have an open mind about other people's experiences and their ride on this roller coaster of life, if you will. So that's that. Seriously, I'm going to enjoy this view and shut off the phone and take it in. Come here, buddy. With the puppercini. Yes. How about this? You like it. You like being outside bouldering with Dad. All right, you guys have a great day.